What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live for Geeks and Gamers Daily on a Thursday. A Thursday with no Jay. No drunk 3PO. Once again, we're sad to report Jay is dead. He has died. I don't know how many times he's died and continues to get resurrected. Hopefully, finally, one of these will actually take. But last-minute replacement for Jay. We've got Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy?
So this is the chat's fault. And I'm going to call him out right now. There was this pretty big theory that when Jay died, we would get more super chats than anyone. And he died, was it last week? Didn't get a lot of super chats, Ryan.
Yeah, last week on Monday or something, he was dead.
Yeah, didn't get a lot of super chats. So we have decided to run it back to see if it works again. So we'll see how well this works out. But anyway, I'm happy to be back with my good friend, Ryan, one of the most positive individuals on the internet, one of the nicest people, and the diversity officer and HR officer for Friday Night Tights and Geeks and Gamers. So I'm happy to be here, man.
But I gotta say something. Last time you did fill in and you said something about how nice Ryan is, I legitimately got like messages from people that are like, are you actually nice and not a racist? Because they were pissed, Jeremy. They were fucking pissed, thinking that I had just hoodwinked everybody, that I just fucked everybody. You have to be very careful. You have to understand the power you have.
My sarcasm has gotten to a level where people don't even get it anymore. That's how good my sarcasm is. If you like, I've gotten to a point where 90% of my content is sarcasm because the internet's such a retarded place. All you can do is respond with sarcasm. That's all you can do. But yeah, I mean, people that bought into that, they must be newer viewers of the channel. They must be, because how many times have me and you been on these road trips where I have talked about all of how Ryan, the way he talks when the camera's not on, or the freaking fast food trips with you are the best, because it is truly, he has willed it into existence, the ability to have his food messed up. And it's because of how much negativity he puts out in the world. Not only that, do they not remember how much I hate going to the movies with you because you won't shut the fuck up? He's so loud. He makes people move from next to us, which I guess is a positive.
Yep.
That is kind of a positive.
Okay. Yep.
He's so loud and obnoxious. These people get up and move. I'm like, good Lord, Ryan, shut up. I don't like going out in public with Ryan. He's too loud and obnoxious. He doesn't care.
Jeremy like gets scared. He's like, you can't say those things in public.
Dude, I'm like, there's kids. There's kids, bro.
They're going to learn someday. Bro, yeah. Remember when we went to that place at Universal Cowfish or whatever?
Oh.
And of course, they fucked something up. What? Like,
hold on.
All right.
So we go to this fucking restaurant. It's the prominent restaurant at City Walk. It has the best viewpoint. You see it and you're thinking, oh, this must be a good place. It's not good. It's called the Cowfish. It's not good.
It sucks.
It's really bad. But anyway, we go and we're meeting someone to talk business or whatever. And, we order our food, and Ryan is like so rude about this fat, ugly waitress that's waiting on us. All right. And it's the way she took his order, and he made a reference to her being fat as she's walking away. And I'm like, dude, we haven't even got our fucking food yet. Wait until after we get our food before you call her fat, because she's going to spit on our food now. He's like, I don't give a fuck, this fucking I'm like,
but she had to have done something to upset me. It was either with drinks or
way that she took the order, or maybe it was a drink. I can't remember, but it was before the food got there, because I was mad at you, because I'm like, first of all, never insult the waiter, because you never know if you're going to have them back again. But like, number two, don't do it before we get the food. You insulted her before we got the food.
She deserved it.
No,
she obviously needed a kick in her fat ass because she's a fucking idiot.
But not until we at least get the food. That was my beef. And I'm like, dude, it was already bad enough. The food was not good, by the way. It was, but I was eating it with the whole time. I'm just thinking, she spit on this burger, dude. She spit on this burger.
It probably would have made it taste better, honestly. That the service was terrible. The food, I'm never eating there again. It sucked. Most places at Universal are actually really good. I hate the Cowfish place. I hope they tear that thing down. They've got like, I think it might be Luke Combs or somebody. They've got a new restaurant that's supposed to go into City Walk next year. I hope they tear down Cowfish and replace it.
Dude. Yeah, no, like if you go to like the Hard Rock is amazing. Bubba Gump is amazing. Like almost every place at City Walk is great, but I've been to Cowfish multiple times now because it's such a great location. It's such a cool looking place. It's objectively bad. It really is not good. So anyway.
Yeah. But that fat bitch deserved it, whatever she did. There's no doubt about that. Master Austin with 20 gifted memberships.
Hell yeah. That's how we started.
I like Master Austin's profile picture. Not like you people who put no effort. You're just a letter and a background. Like you people, avatar weirdos. I love Master Austin's profile picture. Look at the effort. It looks kind of badass. American flag, MA.
Oh, man. Don't get that one started, Ryan.
Just saying. I respect it. A little bit of effort. That's all it takes. But thank you, Master Austin. That's $100 in gifted memberships, right? Hell yeah. Shout out to you.
Let's go.
Alex McCarthy for 2. S tier Thursday. Not exactly. MetaPC, RK Outpost, Drunk 3PO. Not exactly today. But not Jeremy Thursday. Is here. Link to MetaPCs in the description below, everybody. Keenan for $2. Have you ever ate lumpia? Yes.
No.
Like little spring roll things? You never had that?
I don't know. Where do you have them? Where do you eat them at?
Asian restaurants. I think it's like an actual, like, I don't remember if it's specifically Indonesian or like Filipino, but a lot of other places have.
No,
it's Asian cuisine stuff.
Yeah, I don't eat foreign food. So fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, neither do I mostly. Keenan for $2. Have you ever been to a track meet? Yeah. Luckily, I didn't get stabbed like Austin Metcalf. I stayed away from the shady-looking people, Krog-based, they cast Man Diaper Banana Cabana as Joan of Dark. What?
In what? What? I don't even know what we're talking about.
They're a black Joan of Arc movie.
Netflix original.
No Ryan and Jay, just Ryan and Gay, says Cash Kester. What's up, Cash? Is Jay going for AOC's record?
Maybe.
Of what, dying or?
Yeah, she was killed on January 6th multiple times.
Very close.
Yeah, it's awful.
Very close.
Prayers up for her.
Andre, no super chats. Gotcha. Tobias Nexus Furry for $20. The curse of the record button is real. Played Hunt Only one good round. The rest we got slaughtered. And now it's snowing here, but not enough to stick. So we still have to work. But it had more viewers than usual. So small wins. That's what happens, Tobias. When you play your worst is when the most people are watching.
That is true. But no reference to red. It feels like an incomplete super chat without hearing a reference to red.
I think him and Red had a bad breakup, to be honest.
Think so?
I haven't heard anything about Red in a while. Maybe it's because every time he brings it up, the way I say it, I'm like, he's like, being Red played Hunt Showdown last. So maybe he just stopped mentioning Red. Possibly. There's a chance. Speaking of furries, Mako Gray Cat with 5 gifted memberships. We have the biggest furry community maybe in the sector, in the sphere.
We're very diverse here, Big Geeks and Gamers. We focus on that.
Keenan for 2. Did you ever watch Cow and Chicken?
No.
I don't know what that means.
Apparently a House of the Dragon trailer dropped.
Season 3 trailer is supposed to drop today. Do you want to react to it, Jeremy?
I mean, I'll be completely
any
lost.
House of the Dragon?
I did know, but as I told you before the show, I did watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm caught up completely, and it is awesome. I mean, I like it a lot. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, and that's kind of what I've seen a lot of the narrative around it. It's like, this is the greatest thing of all time. It's really good, though. I am really enjoying it. It's a small, contained story about one individual, and it does a great job. I can't wait for the season finale, which is Sunday, right?
Sunday.
So, yeah, it's really, really good, man. So I would highly recommend anybody that's interested. I mean, I still have this kind of bad taste in my mouth over Game of Thrones. And I even feel that when I'm watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms, just hearing references, but because I'm like, well, I know how this all ends up. But with that said, for a small contained story, this is excellent. It's very, very good. Highly recommended.
Yeah, and I was talking about it when the first trailer came out and when they announced it. It's like, I think the show is going to be really, really good. And even if someone had never seen Game of Thrones, I think you can watch this show and enjoy it. Because, of course, there are a ton of references to different houses and things like that you'll understand if you've seen Game of Thrones.
Correct.
But at the same time, it's a story that doesn't require you to have all of that foreknowledge. It's just a story about a dude who's trying to be a good person and do the right thing in a world that makes that very difficult at times. And he kind of has his expectations shattered of what he thought he was getting into versus what he does end up in. And there's some assholes in the story. There's also some great heroic people in the story. And if you're a book reader, if you like The Hedge Knight, it'll be very rewarding to see so much of that translated directly on screen. I think it's a very good adaptation. I think the show's really good overall. I
was shocked. So look at the reviews for this show. Like, these are insane scores.
They are, and this is what I will say. In the same way that, when we did our first reaction, episode 5, and I told a bunch of people in the chat who were like, oh, this 5th episode, too much flashback, 3 out of 10, ruined the show. I'm like, I think you guys are kind of retarded, and I think most people aren't going to have that viewpoint. I think that this is a little overhyped, personally. I don't think Night of the Seven Kingdoms is awesome. It is an awesome show, but I think a 9.7, 9.8 is a little high considering how relatively simple it is. It's not that it's not done well. It's done incredibly well. Couple mistakes, couple nitpicks here and there that I have for the show overall, especially looking at it from the point of view of a book reader. But you just can't tell me that a story that is this relatively straightforward and simple, although rewarding to watch, it's tough for me to put that on the same level as, say, the Red Wedding episode from Game of Thrones. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yep. So I think that we're all prisoners of the moment to some extent when it comes to this show. We're starving for good content lately. But I also think by being prisoners of the moment, it might be tough to take away the end of Game of Thrones compared to what it was when it was at its peak. And I think people kind of forget how good those first 4 seasons truly
Nothing was
were.
better. Nothing was better at the time. I mean, it was peak. It was on track to be the greatest television show ever made, and it wasn't even close. If it would have stuck the landing. But with that said, I would give so far 5 episodes. I know we still have the 6th episode. I would give Night of the Seven Kingdoms about a 7.5 or an 8. You know, I'd give it a solid score from that perspective. I'm very much enjoying it. When I saw these scores though, and the reactions to people, I was like, my goodness, man, this show is like heading for like Breaking Bad level greatness, and it's very good. I didn't find a 9.7, 9.8 in these 2 episodes, but I did think they were very good. The flashback in particular, what you talked about, jarring at first when it happened, but once you actually get on the other side of the flashback and you continue the episode, it's actually perfectly done, in my opinion. Perfectly done.
I get it. If it's so obviously so different for me. Hey, I guess we should watch The Pit. It's obviously so different for me knowing everything that was going to happen and knowing the way it plays out in the book. But I can see how people would be frustrated, feel like they got built up and jerked off, ready to come over this big fight, and then you kind of have to sit through this. I really do think for the people that didn't like that, I think on a rewatch, I think you'll probably change your mind, because I do think the flashback really serves the story and it really rewards a couple elements that come into play throughout that fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really good. And some people like, well, we should have just had a 45-minute battle episode and stuff like that. And I'm telling you right now, the people who so desperately just want to see action, 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 you guys are some of the reasons that we get some of the shit we get nowadays, because action is nothing without it meaning something emotionally and meaning something for the characters. This is a story about Dunk. It is from his perspective, and they added a lot to the battle sequence that is not in the book to give you more. And the way the fight was filmed, the fact that it is so focused, you're seeing some chaos behind the scenes, but this is basically everything that like Dunk himself would be able to be aware of.
Right.
And I think it was really well done, and it is a character story.
That's
and
it.
So A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I highly recommend everybody watch it. I think it's very good, regardless of whether you've read the book or not, regardless of whether you've seen Game of Thrones or not. It's good, and it's something about heroism and standing up for what's right, and doesn't mean that bad things don't happen to good people. Certainly it does, but yeah.
Well, and I do think that's why people are rating it so highly, is that we just don't have that almost at all anymore. Here and there you will, but like it's an optimistic, heroic story about a guy that's not overly special in any way, but he's got good values and he wants to do the right thing. That's really what it's about. And that's why people are gravitating to it. With that said, now, so House of the Dragon House of the Dragon season 2 disappointed a lot of people, right?
It was disappointing, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Again, people being prisoners of the moment who are trying to scream that House of the Dragon season 2 is just as bad as Game of Thrones season 8 or worse. It's obviously insane. But there were a lot of reasons for why House of the Dragon season 2 is disappointing. I think that some people didn't like some of the choices that were made throughout it, and that was a little bit of it. More than anything, it was the way it ended. And it ended, and it didn't even feel like a season finale. The reason it ended that way was because it wasn't the season finale. So if you remember, House of the Dragon was being filmed, season 2 was being filmed, and then the writer's strike and actor's strike happened.
Yep.
And in the middle of that, while they were filming and not allowed to change things within the script and not allowed to do rewrites, all the shit that was happening during that time, HBO came and said, hey, we're going to pull back the budget for season 2, so you can only do 8 episodes. And they're like, okay, but they couldn't rewrite anything. So what should have been the last 2 episodes of season 2, which would have culminated in this massive fight, which, because we know how people just love fights and don't care about anything else, obviously, like seen from Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I think that probably would have changed a lot of people's perspective overall on the season. But we didn't get that. You get this big buildup and no battle. So what should have been the season penultimate and the season finale is going to be in the first couple episodes of season 3. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I feel like right now people are enjoying Night of the Seven Kingdoms more than they're enjoying House of the Dragon, no doubt. But George R.R. Martin just made another big announcement that we're going to get a Game of Thrones play that myself and Gary and others have been anxiously awaiting for a long time about the tourney at Harrenhal that sets in place the events that lead to Robert's Rebellion and eventually what we get in the mainline Song of Ice and Fire series. That just got announced, which is probably a good time to announce while everyone's so high on Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So a lot of stuff going on.
The hype for Night of the Seven Kingdoms is pretty crazy. I mean, again, as somebody who hasn't watched House of the Dragon and really has no interest in watching it, I do remember the first season being pretty, it was praised pretty widely.
It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And it feels like the second season fell off. And of course, you just explained a lot of that. But just from an outsider's perspective, I don't know how much excitement's there for season 3. It doesn't seem like there's a ton. Maybe the people that know the details of why, what went down. But it seems like generally speaking, a lot of people are not looking forward to season 3. Numbers will still probably be super strong though, because a lot of people are watching it.
I actually think probably a lot of people will come back after that first episode and we get this, what is likely to be an insane battle sequence. Because people love talking about that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But overall, to put it in perspective, Dunk and Egg is a 3-hour book or the Hedge Knight Dunk and Egg story is about a 3-hour book. If you're reading it or listening to it, whatever, it just got translated into about a 3-hour television series. And almost all of the dialogue in the show is pulled directly from the book. They've added some things here or there, but a large portion of the plot and the dialogue is pulled directly from the books. House of the Dragon, and you can say the same thing for the first several seasons of Game of Thrones, even though they cut a lot of stuff out. House of the Dragon is an adaptation from about a 25-page entry in a history of the Targaryens in Westeros that reads like a Wikipedia page, where there is very little dialogue. There's even some things we're not even certain about whether they happen this way or that way. It's a different adaptation, So I have different expectations for them. The problem, Jeremy, is if you like A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, just like if you like Game of Thrones, George hasn't finished the Dunk and Egg series. There are 3 books written, and he wants to tell about 10 to 12 Dunk and Egg stories.
Oh, boy.
So I do think you can count on, based on what we've seen, 3 pretty good seasons out of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Mm-hmm. After that, I hope they don't make any more. But they probably will because people are watching.
Yeah, and it was a reminder of watching this. It was a reminder of how absolutely awful the end of Game of Thrones was again. I mean, it really is incredible how big that fall off is. And if you, I am interested for people that watched Game of Thrones after the fact. I would be interested in somebody that binged the whole series and how their experience was with it, because obviously it would still be a huge drop off, but I'm just fascinated by that because obviously we reacted to it week to week, and we watched it. It was a slow burn of a disaster for us. But if you're binging through that for the first time and it's just like all at once it hits you, I am curious how that reaction would be to people.
It probably wouldn't be as bad.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. But it still would be bad. It would still be bad.
Waiting a year and a half. It's just, you're watching it, boom, boom. You just watched 15 hours of something. I actually feel when you do that, you're not able to absorb and think about it as much.
Yeah.
It's just impossible, right? If I sit down on the couch on a Saturday and watch 12 hours of something and it's just hitting you one right after another, I don't think you're able to process and absorb and think and reflect on all of this shit that just happened as well as you are if you're watching it week to week, and you have a whole week to digest and talk to your friends about it. And they say something that you didn't even catch in that episode that makes you reevaluate something. It's just not the same.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anyway, where were we? Little Jim's Halo. Ryan, the Grand Racist Tax. Thank you. Philip Johnson. Life was never the same after I got a profile pic. That works. At least you did something. Mad Dog, Dragon Trailer, and Prince Andrew got. I heard Prince Andrew got arrested. Fuck him.
Yep.
Jack Allen. If Hot D Season 3 doesn't land doesn't land, and with how popular Song of Night of the Seven Kingdoms is, can we see HBO start funneling more money to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and have that be the main show? They shouldn't. They don't need to.
They don't.
They don't need to funnel more money into it. It's really smart for them because the books are very small. For reference, for people who are like, there wasn't enough action. Wait till we get to season 2. You've got a little spat at one point near the beginning of the book, and then at the end of the book, you have kind of a trial by combat sort of thing. But these are about characters. It's not about the action. And because they are just focused on those two, and you don't need these grand set pieces, you don't need to go from King's Landing to Casterly Rock to Winterfell to the area. You don't need all these grand set pieces because it's just a story about following two dudes around.
Yep.
And a lot of times they're not staying in the biggest castles. They're kind of just out there in the country and maybe a very minor lord with a relatively small piece of land. That's the type of stories we're talking about when it comes to this. Now,
yeah, I agree.
If they want to start adding more flashback sequences to the Blackfire Rebellion and things like that, I fully think you could do a little bit of that, and I would love that. But you don't need to pour a bunch of money into it, and I beg that they don't. Because I think being on a constrained budget allows people to be a little bit more creative. And I think in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, you see some of that, and I think it works really well. Andy plays games for 2. Ryan, rate my avatar. It's good. Good avatar. Better than nothing. Better than an A. Death of Marco. Road trip taught me to never send food back. Robert James, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, episode 5. How he no bleed out. Well, if you listen to what you mean, Arian or Dunk? Dunk took a lot of shots.
Dunk took a lot.
However,
I was shocked.
However, as Shad kind of talked about and pointed out, kind of the purpose of if you get stabbed with chainmail, it's going to puncture you, but it's going to very much limit the depth and the damage that it's doing. That chainmail was doing its job, and that's why Dunk. Now, the one thing, the lance to the gut was the big thing. And if that had hit him in the wrong spot, he would have fucking died. Greedy Graffiti. Wow, it's the OGS tier team. Respect. David Smart. Hail the panel. I'm so hungover. You always are, David Smart Jr. People think I have a drinking problem. Mako Gray. You guys going to watch the Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, when it comes out? Great show. Star Trek Academy getting to season 2. Starfleet Academy they have already filmed both seasons by the time the first season premiered. So it's not like it's getting renewed for a second season. That was the agreement when it went into production. I'm going to watch Peaky Blinders.
I'm still, I've recently started Peaky Blinders. I'm enjoying it, but I'm really early in. So I'm only like first 4 or 5 episodes in.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you got a long way to go. The Peaky fucking Blinders.
I really like, it's so good. Like just the setting, and, Cillian Murphy is just such a great actor. He's actually an underrated actor.
He's really good.
He's really fucking good, man.
And especially by like the end of that show, I really relate to him because he is fucking miserable. Like,
How many seasons is it? How many seasons is it?
5?
Okay.
4 or 5? Something like that. I don't remember. But
I know he won Best Actor. He deserved it too. But I'm just saying that I don't think that people view him in the way, like, he is truly one of the greatest actors on the planet. Like, he is phenomenal.
And every time I watch that show, I just want to rip a heater. Because he just looks so cool smoking cigarettes. Holy fuck.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I think he smoked something like 10,000 clove cigarettes during the filming for that show. Just constantly. But I think Mako did bring up Star Trek Starfleet Academy. And yes, Star Trek Starfleet Academy, somehow, some way, there will be 2 seasons of this show, not because it performed well, but because they had already filmed both seasons before the first one came out, because that was the deal. That was the agreement they made. Alex Kurtzman continues to be able to just absolutely desecrate everything surrounding Star Trek. But the reception hasn't been exactly what they would have wanted, not from the fans who are voicing their opinions, nor from people actually tuning in. The ratings have been pathetically low, failed to chart in the Nielsen ratings in its opening week, despite releasing 2 over-hour-long episodes, Jeremy. And now we're getting, what we always usually get when shows like this flop and fail. People complaining about review bombing.
Of course.
Starfleet Academy gets review bombed. And no, tearing down this series won't get us Star Trek Legacy any faster. Obviously, Star Trek Legacy is the idea of getting actual, like, the OG kind of characters together and stuff like that. That's what they're talking about when they're talking about Star Trek Legacy. And this is an entire cope from this pink-haired freak, Janet, whoever the fuck this is. This is where Star Trek fandom is now. It seems people, let's call them the usual suspects, began review bombing Star Trek Starfleet Academy almost as soon as it premiered a few weeks ago. These weren't thoughtful critiques. These were folks just reflectively and maliciously slapping the new series with minimal 1-star ratings on review aggregation sites like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. Although this intellectual vandalism has abated somewhat in recent weeks, it hasn't gone unnoticed, and that includes social media. Right? Just, again, people complaining and bitching about this shit. And the whole point of what this person's doing is, hey, even if you don't like it, if you say you don't like it and you're mean about it and you review bomb the show or give it an honest critique, that means that we won't get as much Star Trek. Like, bottom line, if fans succeed in tanking Starfleet Academy, the most likely outcomes would be Legacy becomes less likely. Trek TV enters a cooling off period. Executives grow wary of the audience. The franchise loses momentum and budgets. Ironically, the best way to get Star Trek Legacy would be to demonstrate that Star Trek as a whole is still worth investing in, not to prove that even devoted fans will abandon it.
Good Lord.
Imagine this perspective. You should eat the slop because we might get slightly better slop in the future. Mm-hmm. So you should consume it even if you don't like it. And if you don't like it, you should shut up about it.
This is the same song and dance that Disney Star Wars was like, just accept it, move on, don't question it. Just accept it, praise it, and do not criticize it so we can get more of it. This is not how fandom works. This is never how fandom has worked. What we are seeing with Starfleet Academy, that is the definition of fandom. To hold people accountable and to not let them off the hook. That's what fans do.
And this is something that they fed into ChatGPT, by the way, to get this result. Like, what would happen if this? Could you tell me the result of what would happen with this? Guess what? Most people watching Star Trek Starfleet Academy and don't like it and are OG Star Trek fans, they would be fine with all of these outcomes, by the way.
Yeah.
But you have somebody who has worked for Star Trek in the past, somebody that's like kind of a technical artist or something like that. Christopher Cushman, not super familiar with him, but he did put out a response to this article. Negative review bombing of Academy likely to end the possibility of shows like Legacy, as well as put Trek into 10, 15 years of hiatus. Honestly, with much of the negative rhetoric coming out before the airing of the first episode, based on the trailers and stills. If Trek fans will have an equal share in that outcome. My past criticism has always been vocal about the destruction of original series storylines. Academy's 1,000 years in the future poses little to no risk. If you hate it, don't watch.
Of course.
And obviously, this dude is getting fucking annihilated. Fans have a right to voice their opinions. And guess what? A lot of the people that despise this series, which should be anyone with 2 brain cells, to be honest with you, the people that despise this series would be fine with all these outcomes. Just like a lot of Star Wars fans. Because what's the reaction from the Disney shills? If you just keep hating on all these projects, eventually we won't get any more new Star Wars projects. Okay. That's okay.
Sounds like a great
deal. It's okay
deal.
to not get Star Wars. It's okay to not get more Star Trek slop. In fact, a lot of people hope that that's what happens.
It's the best thing. I mean, the best thing that could have happened to Disney Star Wars is for everything to have gone away for the last, where are we at for Rise of Skywalker? 7 years past it now, right? 6 years, 7 years. Like after the Rise of Skywalker, if we could have got a 10-year break completely of Star Wars movies, TV, all of that, video games, that would have been the best thing for Disney Star Wars. Star Trek going away for 10 or 15 years, that is the best thing that could happen to it right now. Because it would make people have a reverence for it again. And then hopefully you would have the right people get involved in it that could work on it. And then you would have this massive kind of like return to the standard that what people expect of this. But you're not going to do anything but just continue. You're just continuing to lose people on top of losing people with the process that you're approaching right now. Star Trek is dead. It's been dead for a long fucking time, but this is just pathetic. And this mindset is pathetic, which is, and the fact you said they put it in a chat GPT, like, I think we're getting so much of that now from these shills because they don't know anything about this shit. So they put it into AI to get their talking points now. You know what I mean? I think we're getting that a lot, and that's going to continue, unfortunately. That's pretty funny. I didn't even think about that until you said that, though. But yeah, that's clearly chat GPT breaking that down for them. That's what that is.
What one smart fan even asked an artificial intelligence bot if intentionally killing Starfleet Academy would somehow perversely encourage Paramount to finally decide to produce the series concept the fans have been claiming for in vain the last few years since the series finale of Picard, known as Star Trek Legacy.
Yep. And then
Chat GPT told me, bro,
Grok, is this true? Grok, is this true?
The worst people in the world. I look, there's serial killers out there. There's awful people. There's people who kill animals and shit like this. I'm telling you, the worst motherfuckers in the world are the people who comment on something on Twitter and say, @Grok, is this true? @Grok, please explain the context. You fucking suck. You are the scum of the earth. You're a loser. You're bad for the fucking human race. You are, I would rather live in a world where everyone's a fucking serial killer than live in a world with retards like that. No joke. Holy fuck.
Go back up a little bit because Jess pointed this out in the chat. One smart fan even asked AI. One smart fan even asked AI. What does that even mean, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. So fucking stupid.
Oh my God. We're doomed. Hey, check this out. Have you seen this, Ryan? Over on Criticless, Star Trek has a 2%.
Find that person that gave it a good review.
Well, there's a few people that gave it like
a 10 or a 15.
5. There's a 5 right there. There's a 5 right here. I think there was a 4. There's a 1. A 4%, a 1%. So it's sitting at a whopping 2% right now on Criticless. So there you have it, 2%.
God. Wilson says, this just confirms that somebody used Grok to check Ryan and Jeremy when it comes to whatever politics. That has nothing to, I don't tweet enough for people to ask Grok in my comment section of this is true or not. I hate it when I'm scrolling through Twitter.
It's everywhere, though, but it's everywhere. Every time you turn around, people are doing the Grok, is this true? Grok, is this true? And they can't even do the basic amount of research themselves. It has, I don't even know if people troll my comments with Grok bullshit, you know, but like nobody's ever actually, I don't even tweet as much. I tweet about as much as you these days.
And it's like all AI is doing is just like pulling random things from the internet. It doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's not true. For instance, when people were talking about those Bad Bunny, remember when people were reporting the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show numbers, the highest ever, and they had that exact number and all of that stuff, and it got put in CBS News headlines, it got put in AP headlines, it got put in all these different places. Everybody was repeating this shit. Guess what? If you asked AI, whether it was Google AI or Grok, hey, what was the viewership for the Bad Bunny halftime show? They would have repeated those things because so many people were talking about it. But it turns out that it was completely untrue.
Yep.
That got posted by a Bad Bunny fan account right after the Super Bowl ended, when we had no idea what the ratings actually were.
And it got a lot of traction.
It got a lot of traction, and enough
people repeated it. Therefore, Grok thought it was true based on the data of how many people were interacting with this post. That's all AI is essentially doing. AI is essentially doing the work that it would take you a long time to do. It's just doing it much faster in terms of compiling information on the internet, whether it's true or not. It's not there to tell you if it's true. It's there to compile the information that's available. That's it.
Yeah, but it's like when that's the first thing that returns with a Google search. Same thing with like movie budgets or things like that. If you ask, hey, what's the budget of this movie? and it'll take it from a couple sources or compile this data. And even though we might have gotten shit that actually reflects that's not true, we got updated numbers on this budget. If the majority of the posts it sees say this thing, that's what it'll feed back to you, even if it's not accurate. And I think people take those summaries, whether it's Grok or whatever, and you can ask it for a source. Guess what it would tell you? It would if you asked Grok about that Bad Bunny shit during that time, it would have told you multiple reports from USA Today and CBS News and blah 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 say that this is the Bad Bunny thing, but it wasn't true. It wasn't real. It was misreported.
Yep. I mean, it's just like having a more interactive version of Wikipedia. Did you know how so many people just read Wikipedia to get their talking points? And that's what AI is doing. Like, I know a lot of people are doing videos based on AI information, and that's it. I'm terrified to do that because how do you know if it's real? How do you know if everything that is spitting out is true? You know what I'm saying?
Like, the difference is there is fake bullshit all over the place. There are people that live on fake bullshit as part of their content creation, whether it's political, whether it's just one thing after the other thing, after the other thing, after the other thing, and their fans get all wound up in whatever. They're just lying to you. Whether it's entertainment space, same fucking thing. Facebook, the boomers on Facebook that fall for these images with some text, no source, whatever, and they just repeat it back and as truth. That shit happens.
I am shocked at how bad Facebook is. And maybe it's because I haven't been on Facebook much, but like every time I go to Facebook, dude, it's bad. And I'm talking like random shit. Like I follow a lot of NASCAR stuff recently because I'm following Daytona 500 stuff. I get on Facebook and it's like these stories about Dale Earnhardt Jr. cussing out Bubba Wallace, putting him in line. And it's got like a Photoshop picture of Dale Earnhardt Jr. with his finger like screaming at Bubba Wallace. And you see all these fucking Earnhardt fans are like, hell yeah, his daddy will be proud. I'm like, what? Junior's a fucking liberal. What if
Dale Earnhardt Jr. called Bubba Wallace the N-word?
Yeah, dude. Oh, people are eating it up. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so bad. It's unbelievable. Facebook is a shit show.
It's the same thing. There's like, ever since the Black Snape story came out, there have been Facebook groups that have had this. It's now like 6-month longing narrative about J.K. Rowling suing Warner Brothers to get control of Harry Potter back, and that J.K. Rowling calls out Papa Essiato, and Papa Essiato wrote a letter to J.K. Rowling demand she, accept trans people. It's these wild stories that are not true at all, but
make a lot of money talking about them though.
I wish that. I feel like I have one simple request for everyone in the world, and it's not, just don't be retarded. But I feel like that's way too high an ask. Like, I gotta lower my expectations for the rest of the world. Be plain. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is a great story of a dude being a good dude trying to play a night dude, and it's awesome.
It is awesome. Yep,
it's good. It's a little more inspiring, than a lot of the other what people think of when they think of Game of Thrones. So. American Man, the OG S tier crew is back. It's 2023 again. This show's been going on too long. Yeah. Tiggs for 5. Jeremy, please let me out of my basement. I miss my family.
I'll think about it.
Westward Smile. Why the fuck is Jeremy here?
Because nobody else was available, basically.
He has to show up every once in a while. We cut his health insurance off. It's basically
that's it.
Cole Hauser, yo, Jeremy and Ryan, my riggas. Jeremy, Ryan, and I will be curling. You down? Praise Allah.
No, I'll be streaming and grifting.
So apparently there is an Orlando curling club here. And Cole Hauser wants to take us curling when he comes down. Teach us the Canadian ways.
I'm sure it's weird.
Curling seems cool to me.
But I'm saying, no, Canada, the Canadian way, it's going to be weird. The only thing that's not weird about
as long as you're just teaching me curling and not just getting fucked in the ass, that seems to be the Canadian way. But. Keenan, did you ever watch the show Life with Louie? No.
I didn't.
Nicodemus Gore for $2. Doesn't say anything. Thank you, Nicodemus. Orangutan for $10. Howdy, y'all. As some of you know, my 11-year-old husky Miles is battling cancer.
Oof.
Taking him to the vet tomorrow to get checked, asking for prayers. Thanks and hail to you. That sucks.
I saw a lot of people responding to that when you sent it. So obviously prayers up for you. In the chat, we'll be throwing those up, I'm sure. Sorry to hear that, man. Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Positive vibes. It works. It does work. So that's
awful. One of the worst things in the world is that our animals don't live as long as we do.
Yes.
And it's not really fair.
It's not. It sucks.
But yeah.
It really
Sorry you're going through that, man. Maximus for 199. Rate my avatar.
Do you know?
Could use some improvement, but I got to be honest. At least you have one. At least I know you went through the effort and did it instead of just being a lazy piece of shit.
Do you know what that is?
It's Brie Larson's feet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Callum for 5. Did 28 years Bone Temple do well? I can't get any answers. No one's talking about it. It did not perform well at the box office at all. Let me see if I can. 28 years later, the Bone Temple, the numbers. I think that for look, the people who went and saw it, it sounds like they thought it was really good. But I think that 28 years later, the first one that came out, I think that ruined a lot of people's goodwill. A lot. For perspective, based on what we know about the budget for 28 years later, the Bone Temple was upwards of $60 million, which is not huge, $60 million, but this is what it did at the box office.
Ooh.
$56 million worldwide. It is a catastrophic fucking flop.
Yeah, that's
a
bad.
Massive money loser.
That's really bad.
I think it's all based on how that first movie was marketed so well, and then you showed up to the movie and it was a completely different fucking movie. And people really didn't like it. They feel like they got the rug pulled out from under them. And people like me who got excited for 28 years later, thought it was marketed as a different movie, showed up and was like, no, I don't like this. I wasn't going to give this thing a second chance. I wasn't going to go back and see this one. And I didn't. And a lot of other people didn't. And it is a huge failure.
Yep.
Money-wise.
You get what you deserve.
Cele, Peaky Blinders is great. Try Taboo with Tom Hardy. But Tom Hardy's characters in Peaky Blinders is awesome.
Tom Hardy's one of my favorite actors. So the fact that he's in it, and then there's another guy that I don't know his name. Have you watched Animal Kingdom yet?
You talk about that one that show that used to air on TNT back in the day?
Yeah.
With the 4 boys.
Yeah.
And their mom. Yeah. I love that. I love that show.
But the guy, he's the main star of Animal Kingdom. He's also in Peaky Blinders. I don't know if he's later on in the season. He was he Jay?
Yes,
he was
100%. He was Jay in
in Animal Kingdom. Yeah.
He's a huge part of Peaky Blinders.
Okay. He's a good actor too.
Michael in Peaky Blinders.
And then, so we got some really hell of a cast in Peaky Blinders. So I can't wait to get further into it.
Next to last Starfighter. The penultimate Starfighter. For 2, should I watch Peaky Blinders? Rate my avatar. Your avatar is sick. I like it. And you should.
Yeah.
Super Franderman, Ryan, I turned 31 today. For my birthday present, greet me like I messed up your order. Talking too loudly in the cinema. I'm Jeremy, etc. Thanks, Bill. The Super Franderman. Well, happy birthday, Super Franderman.
As would like your avatar.
As would love your avatar.
Mm-hmm.
To you, like you messed up my order.
You can't do that. I have experienced his orders being messed up, and trust me, he cannot repeat on YouTube what he says.
What do I do in a cinema? Like, I don't feel like I was talking during the movie. It's like before the movie comes out. Like we're just sitting there and I'm making fun of shit that's happened, like a stupid fucking commercial show. Oh, great. Nicole Kidman's here again. Can't wait for the Nicole Kidman thing.
It sets a tone. When I hear somebody in the theater making comments that loud during the previews, you're setting a fucking tone that you're going to be an annoying asshole. So I'm already aggravated. I'm like, if this dude can't shut the fuck up during previews, he's going to be a problem during the movie. You're setting a bad tone.
I do bring an aura of negativity around me.
You absolutely do that.
Like an umbrella.
I
have an umbrella and it's raining on everyone else.
I would fucking hate you if I didn't know you. And I'm sitting in the movies and I hear you making comments about the fucking previews. I'm like, this piece of shit is going to be talking all through the movie. I hate you and I want you. Never mind.
I know myself pretty well, and I hate me too.
Like I want you to not be in the earth anymore. That's the nicest way I can say it. I'm not going to repeat what you said last time I was on the show because you were talking about some fat loser. You were like, I want you to, and I'm like,
Ryan, that fat NFL guy.
Yeah, I'm like, Ryan, don't say that on stream.
My diet's none of your business. I can barely breathe because I'm so fucking fat.
So yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I would hate Ryan if I didn't know Ryan.
Everyone should. The Beast. Aloha, my brother Ryan. Jeremy, the homosexual, and Chad. Thanks, The Beast. Callum. I don't know anything about Star Trek, but are all these actors all come off the same short bus? Or any self-aware?
Very few.
A lot of them come off the short bus. A lot of them come off the gay bus. So you could argue they're one and the same. Wake the fuck up, Samurai. It's crazy that that's allowed to be a username.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see Simu Limu being called Ricky Tan?
He responded to a tweet. I saw like Steph.
Somebody put him on their Mount Rushmore of people who ruin any movie that they're in. And it was like Seth Rogen, Patton Oswalt, Mark Ruffalo, and Simu Liu.
Mm-hmm.
And he responded. He's like, "It's an honor to be up there. Some great company." It's like, bro, this dude just seeks out his name on social media all day long.
He's pathetic. He is. Do you have a Mount Rushmore of actors that ruin it? A film for you? Like for me, it's not even about politics so much. Is Daniel Craig would be number one for me. I just fucking hate Daniel Craig. After that, like a lot of them are in the Odyssey at this point. The people that would be on it, like John Leguizamo, who's completely irrelevant. Ellen Page, because it's just like, why would you put Ellen Page in a movie at this point in time? And who would be for? Because like I don't like Seth Rogen at all as a person, but like he was legitimately funny in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, dude. He was legitimately funny then. Yeah. He didn't really ruin Donkey Kong as the voice of Donkey Kong for me. So Mark Ruffalo to me is one of the like most like I don't understand why he gets cast in anything. I really don't. I don't get it. I know that he was like the Temu version of, you know, Edward Norton. So he got that job because Edward Norton was difficult to work with for Hulk, you know.
It's tough because it's like, have you seen the Zodiac?
Zodiac with
Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
It's tough because even though I think Mark Ruffalo's a retard, I still watch it and think that movie's awesome. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's Pedro Pascal. Fucking can't stand Pedro Pascal as a person, and I'm tired of him getting cast in so many things. However, Pedro Pascal in Narcos is fucking awesome. Pedro Pascal as Oberyn Martell is fucking awesome. Like Pedro Pascal's been in some things that I think he's really fucking good. So it's just to each their own. Like I as much as I hate a lot of people, it doesn't necessarily ruin something that they were in that I do like and all that shit. It really doesn't.
No, I mean, that's kind of how I'm, but like I said, Daniel Craig, I don't even know. Well, I mean, I know his politics. He dresses like a fucking woman. So we kind of know what his politics are, but it's really not about his politics. I just don't like him as an actor. I don't like his face. I don't like him. You know, that scene in Step Brothers where he's like, I just don't like your face. That's fine. You know,
yeah.
Is there anything I can do about? No, just don't like it. You know, that's talking about Daniel Craig. I don't like him. I don't know why.
Well, speaking of things I don't like, Disney Star Wars would fall into that category. And as everyone's been talking about, the new trailer for The Mandalorian. Isn't it exciting, everybody?
Yay.
Another trailer a week after we got a disastrous trailer for the Super Bowl that everyone mocked and ridiculed and had to hurry up and get another one out. Well, you've got some people who wish that they would have got to make their Star Wars movie who can't shut the hell up about it. And this is all going back to The Hunt for Ben Solo, Steven Soderbergh, and Adam Driver. And they keep talking about how upset they are that they didn't get to make it, where I think it's one of the best decisions anyone at Disney ever made, quite frankly. Disney axed Star Wars sequel, The Hunt for Ben Solo, without ever asking about the budget or other details, says Soderbergh. It's insane. And we were all frustrated.
Oh,
Steven
God.
Soderbergh's continuing to open up about his Adam Driver starring scrapped Star Wars movie, The Hunt for Ben Solo. In a new interview, the filmmaker said it was no surprise to read Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm exit interview and hear her frustrations over Disney's axing of the Rise of Skywalker follow-up movie, which would have brought Driver back as the fan favorite Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. We were all frustrated. You know, that was 2.5 years of free work for me and Adam and Rebecca Blunt. Is that all you did for 2 years? 2.5 years, that's all you did was work on a script for something? I don't believe you. When Adam and I discussed him talking about it publicly, I said, look, don't editorialize or speculate about the why. Just say what happened, because all we know is what happened. The stated reason was, we don't think Ben Solo could be alive. And that's all we were told. So there's nothing to do about that, except move on. I made the movie in my head. Just felt bad no one was going to get to see it. I thought the conversation was going to be a practical one. Where'd they go? What is this going to cost? I had a really good answer for that, but I never got to that point. It's insane. We were all very disappointed. Bro.
This is Ryan. Okay. If you are walking down a street, let's call it Martin Luther King Boulevard, and you get robbed, whose fault is that?
Look, if I am maybe unaware of what I'm getting into,
no.
It might be my fault the first time.
If you go to MLK Boulevard and get robbed, it's you deserve to get robbed if you're that dumb. If you're going,
if you went back a second time after getting robbed the first time.
Yes, exactly. If you're trying to work for Lucasfilm at this point in time with everything we have known, it's your fault. At this point, if you're stupid enough to go work for Lucasfilm after the disaster that we have seen for the past decade from this horrible company and the horrible leadership and the failed projects over and over again, it's at this point, if you're that stupid, I don't have sympathy for you. If you're dumb enough to go down to MLK Boulevard and walk down the street and you get robbed, you're that stupid. I don't have sympathy for you. I don't care. First of all, nobody gives a fuck about Ben Solo. No, I like Adam Driver as an actor. I think he's a really good actor. He's got screen presence. He's really good in everything I've seen him in.
He was actually the N-word really emphatically, which I always appreciate.
So I like him, and I think that he's a really good actor. I have zero interest in a Ben Solo movie. And I think that almost everyone feels that way outside of the Reylo freaks that are out there, which we have already proven that they are not enough to justify a movie of this magnitude. They did you a fucking favor. Trust me, by not moving forward with this project for Steven Soderbergh and for Adam Driver, they did you a massive favor. But the whining and the crying and the pathetic behavior behind it, it's embarrassing. To make Lucasfilm sympathetic, you've got to be really bitch made, and that's how they are right now. They're making Lucasfilm sympathetic.
Yeah, and I kind of have a different you're talking about Steven Soderbergh walking down MLK Jr. Boulevard and getting robbed. I have a different perspective. To me, this is like the heads at Disney after the failure that was The Rise of Skywalker, the disaster that was the sequel trilogy, burning all of that money and all of the goodwill from fans, and Disney stars being in a terrible place. And these people are coming up to you and be like, hey, you know this guy that we just fucking killed off? We're going to bring him back to life and do another movie about him.
Yep.
That is the Disney executives actually refusing to walk down MLK Boulevard. That is them making the right decision to be like, I've seen what happens down there. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm going to take an Uber, okay? Like, that's them making the right decision and not getting fucking ripped off. Because yes, the only people that want this are the Reylos and the weirdos. It's the same people that wanted the Acolyte renewed. It's an insignificant number of people that might make some loud noise on social media every once in a while, but it's a very small number of people. And to those people, just to show how fucking stupid and idiotic and degenerate and nonsensical they are, these are the people that love this character. So they love the Reylo stuff. They love all this. We just saw, if you truly believe there's something to these characters and appreciate them, then it must have really meant a lot to you when Ben Solo essentially sacrificed himself to save Rey and what that moment means and all of that. That must have meant a lot to you. You want that to get immediately reversed by them bringing him back to life and that moment meaning nothing. And that's who you're dealing with. Yes. But guess what? There are people at Lucasfilm that have that same point of view. There are people at Lucasfilm that don't know anything about storytelling, that write for fucking kindergartners and degenerates. His name is Dave fucking Filoni. And apparently, there's always a chance, because that type of idea probably falls really well. It feels really good to Dave Filoni, the person who can't let any of his characters die, the person who wants to take part in bringing all these different characters back to life because he's a retarded bitch. Dave Filoni and Lin-Wen Brennan could be possibly circling back to the hunt for Ben Solo in the future, which wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, and form. I hope you do it, because I'd love to see another fucking failure at the theaters, especially with Dave Filoni's name on the bottom line.
Well, this actually brings up an interesting discussion from a standpoint of, I think that Mandalorian and Grogu is set to be a pretty big flop for them. Not like Marvel's level flop, but I think that this movie, I think 500 million might be the ceiling for it based on the reactions. Now, again, I've said multiple times, because I'm pulling a Skip Bayless. I'm basically covering all bases. It could make $1 billion, or it could make 300 million. I think 500 million is probably the sweet spot. And if Mandalorian and Grogu, what's the budget on it that we know of right now?
I think, if I remember, it's around 170 million, something like that, if I recall, which is relatively cheap.
Yeah.
Relatively cheap for them.
If Mandalorian hits $400 to $500 million, I think you're going to see widespread panic at Lucasfilm. I think you're going to see widespread panic. I think that there's going to be a serious problem with them, because they have nothing. They have nothing in the works. There's nothing that is showing to be a box office success. There's nothing they have. Andor's their most popular thing, and nobody's fucking watching it. And didn't they put a ton of money into Andor?
They put an obscene amount of money into Andor,
and nobody's watching it. I think Lucasfilm, if Mandalorian Grogu fucks up, and the reason I'm bringing that in is because whatever plans they may have for a Ben Solo movie and all of that, like, everything hangs on Mandalorian and Grogu right now. Everything.
I agree, and it's going to be interesting to see the reaction. I've said, probably 400 to 500 million ish is my guess. I wouldn't be shocked if it gets to 600 million or something. And if it does get to 600 million, that might mean it doesn't lose money for them based on the budget, on the real low budget. But it's also kind of embarrassing. It would still be kind of embarrassing if you like barely crept to 600 million with the first Star Wars movie in theaters in 7 years. But I do think around 400 to 500 million is probably where they see it tracking right now. But who knows?
And
if that happens,
everything.
It will be disastrous, and it'll be funny. And I can't wait.
And I doubt
Dave Filoni's stupid gay soy face trying to spin that shit.
And that's my point is if that happens, you can kiss any future projects that are currently being discussed. Oh, like a hunt for Ben Solo shit ain't happening if Mandalorian flops. It ain't fucking happening. It really is not.
You know what also might not happen if Mandalorian and Grogu flops?
What?
Dave Filoni's movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which was reportedly put on the back burner despite him getting a promotion to co-president.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I mean, regardless of, like, obviously I like his Clone Wars stuff, but regardless of if you liked it or not, it's not meant for a huge audience. So, like, releasing a movie, like, even the Clone Wars movie was terrible.
Right,
in terms of, like,
awful.
Well, in terms of, I didn't like the movie, but I'm just saying, like, it did not perform well. I don't remember how bad it was, but it was not great.
You know, what would be a great idea for us for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie? Why don't we bring back Rada the Hutt that everyone hated in that failed Clone Wars movie? Maybe we can do that.
They're in bad shape right now, man. And again,
I think Zero the Hutt is actually like Dave Filoni's inner like soul. I think Zero the Hutt. I think he acts like Dave Filoni. Don't you?
Yes. I mean, look, Dave Filoni is, how do I describe this?
Gay cowboy, 2 words.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he has, I think he knows that he shouldn't be where he's at right now as well. I think that he's in a bad spot. Not only is he in a place that he shouldn't be, dude, he's taking over a crippled franchise now. It's bad. Star Wars is in a bad fucking place, and he is not a guy that can. It's essentially like, again, I'll bring a sports analogy into it, okay? But like Kalen DeBoer just took over Nick Saban's team in Alabama. You know, he's Nick Saban's team. Nick Saban took over Mike fucking Shula's team. Nick Saban took over what Dave Filoni is taking now. He took over a shell of what it was. And Nick Saban's the greatest of all time. Dave Filoni needed to be taking over. He needed to be what Kalen DeBoer is. You know what I mean? He needed to be in that position where everything is healthy. Everything is firing on all cylinders. No. It's bad, man. He can't rebuild this shit. Can't do it.
I think that Dave Filoni has a very inflated sense of his self-importance and worth. And I think he always has. And I think it's always been part of his problem. And I think it's the reason why he's so quick to ignore anything in the moment, because he feels entitled to do any of the same things that George Lucas would have done. You know, I think he views himself that way and always has. So I don't know if he's feeling like he shouldn't be there. I think he's always thought he was ready for this. I just don't think it's true. You know,
I think that, like, but I'm saying forget like all of that. Like, now the reality of it is he's there, and they're in a bad fucking way. They have nothing. What in the step back from how much we have covered it, step back, you know, because I think me and Ryan are very good at stepping back and being objective as to how something is perceived, regardless of what our personal opinion is. Be honest about what does Lucasfilm have right now that is trending in the right direction? Anything.
It's nothing.
Movies, video games, TV, everything is trending backwards for them. There's not one thing that is moving in a positive direction for them right now. They are fucked.
Yeah, and I said it before. Would Disney's Star Wars be in a better or worse place right now if, when they bought it in 2012, if they had never made a single thing? And the truth is, they would be in a better spot right now. The franchise would be healthier. There would be more interest in it if they had never done a single thing. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. They have devalued Star Wars.
Yep.
American Man looks like the Indiana Bears happening, Ryan. It does look like it's happening, and it's crazy.
I just saw that. So,
I think it makes a ton of sense for the Bears based on the hurdles they're up against. I hate that the Bears are no longer going to be at Soldier Field, period. I wish they could have worked something out to build something else right there, because I'm telling you, there's nothing like going to Soldier Field, which has been around since the 1920s, when you're right on the lake. You got the big view of Chicago. There's nothing like that. Now, they had two options, really, and it was Hammond, Indiana, or Arlington Heights. Hammond, Indiana is actually closer to Chicago. It's only about 30 minutes away than Arlington Heights is from downtown Chicago. So a lot of people are going to be freaking out about it. I think it makes the most sense. And it's all about politics. This is all based on Indiana wanting the Bears and their business and all of the stuff that comes with it, and Illinois refusing to bend anything to try to like give them a good deal. It all comes down to politics. That's what it is. And it's sad. I want the Bears to stay where they were, but if they're going to move,
isn't Soldier Field's one of the smallest stadiums, isn't it? Capacity wise,
smallest stadium.
Yeah. So
it is,
but it's iconic.
Stadium.
It's iconic. It's so iconic.
And that's why I don't want them to move. Like I hate the idea of them not being at Soldier Field. Pisses me off. Bob Aurelius, from this point on, House of the Dragons almost completely battles in action. They just need to have the budget for it. There are a lot of battles that should be taking place in the last two seasons of Hot D. Absolutely. And hopefully those will be rewarding because of a lot of the buildup that they've done in the stage that they've set and the sides that have formed and stuff. We'll see. But I think a lot of people who just want to see dragons and battles and shit will probably like it. Bungle Swang Orion, fight back at Grok. Is this retarded? Maybe. AD the Demon Slayer. Who has the better Twitter social justice warrior voice, Ryan or Jeremy? Hold the chat, please.
I don't do it that much anymore. I can't do it on command. It has to just be part of the, conversation.
I'll run the poll. Who has the better woke SJW voice? Jeremy, Ryan. Star poll. I guess we'll see. AD the Demon Slayer. Andre CR at Grok. Is what Ryan's saying true? The Mass Marvel at Grok. Are these guys homosexuals? Tobias Nexus. It's actually what it is. Actually, you know the AI chat summaries you get when you come into YouTube sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know how those will be like if you turn into Tuesday Night's Main Event. It'll be the chat is talking about who's more homosexual, Jeremy or Beardo, and like that's what AI does. Right?
I know that's all it does. It's why people are stupid, and they're just being informed by stupidity on top of that. So.
Yeah. Now, it's not that I'm saying it's not useful. It absolutely is. It can be incredibly useful. And I know people that use, whether it's Venice AI or ChatGPT or whatever, to help them out with a lot of stuff. But if you're asking it to delineate rumors from truth or truth from lies or to recap this thing that's being talked about on social media, if you are asking it that, you're too retarded to think anyway.
Yes.
And you have sacrificed your opportunities on this world. I'm not gay no mo for $1. Beardo Rogan for $1. Thank you. Jack Allen, with the budget for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I was thinking more after they pass the books and Dunk and Egg become more important. They could tell bigger stories. I think they shouldn't, though, Jack. And I think that is a trap they might fall into or want to fall into, and I hope they don't. You know? Because that would lose what it's supposed to be.
It's successful because of this approach that they have. You don't want to change that up too much.
Yeah. AD the Demon Slayer for 2. Rate my avatar. I think that one's pretty badass, AD. Little cartoon of you about to fuck up the devil or a demon or whatever. I like it. Grab Thor's Hammer must super chat when the Griff King is present. Vault 199 Gaming, rate my avatar. Drew it myself. Beardo, overweight. If you drew that yourself, that's very impressive, Vault 199 Gaming. That's very impressive. Sam Perez, Beardo forgot to read my super chat yesterday. Shaking my fucking head. Here's my teach Beardo how to read tax.
Failure.
No White for 5. Getting caught up at 2 times speed. OMG, completely forgot about Brie Larson.
We all did except for Ryan. He never forgot.
Sony just made a deal for a Brie Larson horror movie that's being produced by J.J. Abrams, actually.
Yeah, he's got his first movie in Forever is coming out later this year. It's so weird.
He's not directing, but he's a producer on it, I think.
Wait, the movie's come out later this year?
No.
Okay, the one you're talking about, yeah.
That movie won't be seen for 2 or 3 years, but it was a headline yesterday. Vampa, Ryan versus Black Woman on phone. Who's louder?
Black woman on phone.
I can be pretty loud.
Yeah, but Black woman on phones. It's worse too. Chris
Bolts. I'm a talker in theaters. I'm going to go to Florida so I can go to a movie with Jeremy. I'll sit right next to him and talk through the entire movie. Do you remember that Seinfeld episode where they're like trying to go to the movie theater and everybody ends up canceling for one reason or another? And I forget whether it's Elaine who's the last one to leave, and Jerry's like, what am I going to do if nobody goes? Make sarcastic remarks to strangers?
Oh, freaking Seinfeld. I need to rewatch it, man. It's been so long. I think that's
the one where they go to that Chinese restaurant to try to eat before they go to the movie. And that's when they like dare Elaine to go up and like eat something off the plate. Like they give her money to go and eat something off the plate.
I'm fuzzy on the yeah.
For $50? Like, you think I should? She looks at George. Do you think I should do it for $50? And George is like, for $50? I'd stick my face in their soup and blow. That is one of my favorite episodes. Who's on the Mount Rushmore of running daily or Tuesday night's main event?
Beardo.
You don't, or ruining daily. Okay.
Yeah.
Ruining daily, not running daily.
Beardo.
Yeah, that's a one person.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore. Net Stealer for 2. LMAO Craig has perpetual licked a lemon face. I licked a dick. Bungles Twanger, Mount Rushmore, Jared Leto, Rachel Zegler, Freckle Jesus.
I don't like Jared Leto. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any. I know a lot of people hate him or whatever. I'm not a fan, but it doesn't bother me like that.
Rachel Zegler hasn't been in enough shit to be like, oh, she ruins it for me. Like,
Yeah,
she's only been in like 4 movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Burnt Poet went to an event in KC and saw a guy wearing a Rigger shirt. I yelled, "Hail the 199!" He returned a blank stare. Occurred to me he was probably just event staff. The Last Boy Scout with a new membership. Thank you, Last Boy Scout.
Great movie.
Health Minister of Belgium 5 stars would be healthier if they cast me as a hut. Wouldn't need much CGI.
That's true.
George Ramirez, Los Pollos Hermanos, OG panel. Love it. 8 days until Resident Evil 9. Can't wait. Jeremy, rate my Avatar.
I mean, one of my favorite movies. So,
Susu Studio.
it's so good, man. I've said it. Like I think that might be Christian Bale's best acting performance, and he's had a ton. Said a lot of them. He's won the Academy Award. He's had a lot of iconic roles. But if you go back to American Psycho, that might be his single best acting performance.
Every day that goes by, I actually feel a little bit more like his character. Like, not gonna lie.
So good.
Wayne-O-Rama, we need to make an AI with Ryan's personality.
I mean, the thing about AI is, I've talked about this before. The thing about AI is AI tends to be extremely racist, sexist, and homophobic until they have to tweak it, because all AI is doing is looking up, patterns and statistics. You know what I mean? So, and then they tweak it because the honesty of AI, they don't like that. They don't like that AI is honest. Weird.
Who's they?
The people that are behind the AI. Israel.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for. Godzilla's greaser for 2. All I did for my avatar was ask Grok to draw me. I think AI is perfectly fine to generate little images and memes and stuff like that. Blood Bucket. I called him Blood Bouquet. Blood Bouquet when I first saw this. Rate my profile picture. Does my name make sense? Yes. Blood Bucket. A picture of a blood bucket does make sense. Starkiller Rob. Ryan, rate my avatar. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's pretty good.
You know what? You know why the Bears logo looks like a toilet seat? Because after we play your shitty team and we fuck you in the ass and we come inside you, you need to sit on the fucking toilet, let the cum drain out of yourself. That's why it looks like a toilet seat, motherfucker. So, just for the record. Naggardnall for 5. Hail, you like that, Jeremy? Hail and happy Thursday. It's my birthday. I only need 50 subs to get monetized if anyone wants to help. Would be greatly appreciated. Shout out the 199.
Oh, shit. 50? You only need 50 to get monetized? Come on, guys. I think we can get him there. Mods will drop a link. I'm sure Jess can drop a link. Get him 50 subs. Let's make it happen.
Go check it out. Thank you, Naggardnall. Over on Rumble, Carnal with, it's the same $5 super chat 3 times within like a 1-minute span. So I don't know if it just replicated or if it was really 3 chats. But either way, thank you, Carnal.
It's only showing up once for me.
It shows 5 times for me. It's very strange. What's it going to take for you guys to see good luck, have fun, don't die? It's flying under the radar, and I'm afraid it'll be found criminally underrated, especially when discussing AI. It is on my list of shit to see, Carnal, but yeah, I'm relatively busy, so it's just tough to go. But I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it hadn't been on my radar at all. So
it has been on my radar. Chris Gore highly recommended as well, I believe. So, give him my 2 credits for 5. Ryan, how much cost for you to watch Frieren Beyond Journey's End and get thoughts on Japanese take European fantasy? How much do I have? Like, how much is it? Am I committing to 27 hours of watching this shit? Am I committing to one season that's 8 episodes? I don't know. Freerin Beyond Journeys? Maybe. Maybe I'll check it out.
He won't like it.
Blood Bucket. Forgot to mention I started Project Hail Mary this morning. Loving the book. Can't wait for the movie. I have it. I need to start the book probably this weekend.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see this one. Looks really good.
Tobias, Ryan, I'd ask you to rate mine, but I also know you couldn't tear it apart more than I can myself. Tobias, even if you hate yourself or your profile picture that much, never underestimate my ability to tear you down more. And there's so many artists who hate AI because it steals from other artists to make it. No copyright. Thank you, Tobias. It looks like if one of my favorite characters, Fox McCloud, was just gay as fuck. That's what your profile picture reminds me of, Tobias. Bearded Sports Psych. I like to use AI for AI slop about Jeremy. MJ UK. I was a bit depressed seeing Jeremy back, but my God, he brings out the best in Ryan. Welcome back, Jeremy. Says MJ UK.
I mean, just saying that you were depressed and I'm back super fucking gay. So, like, so depressed that a guy is on a stream. It sounds like you sound really gay. So,
like, this is the only thing that AI should be used for, in my opinion. And it's just this shit.
That is awesome.
Gambit gets the wrong order. GNG 199. I ordered a hot dog, you stupid bitch. I ain't gonna lie. I like nachos a lot too. So be okay with nachos. Yeah, I don't know what Gambit's doing in a 7-Eleven, but there I am.
It doesn't matter. And you know what? Speaking of like AI, somebody made, I'm not going to play the whole clip, but they were basically memeing on my dying channel. But the funny part was that Beardo caught a stray. And that's the best part. Okay.
Oh, man.
So right here, watch.
Also, for every purchase of Instant Hamburger Helper, available exclusively from geeksandgamers.com, a portion of proceeds will go to D-Day Cobra recovery efforts and teaching Beardo how to read.
It's so like out of
pink shirt.
Yes, it's so like this whole thing was about memeing on me, and out of nowhere, Beardo just catching a stray wearing a pink shirt, and so it proceeds to help Beardo read. I'm like, dude, it's so good.
Do you remember? Like for some of us for the Barbie review, we were going to be like, let's wear pink shirts or whatever. So a couple people got pink shirts for the FNT Barbie review. Do you remember that?
No, because I didn't watch Barbie, so I didn't. So
yeah. And so I got a pink shirt for the fucking Barbie review thing we did. And of course I put it in the closet. I've never really thought about it again. And as I was like showing somebody like all the shit I had in there, she's like, what's with that pink shirt? That's pretty fucking gay. I'm like, God, just throwing that shit away. But yeah.
Shit.
Raven Black Sparrow. I'll play the game. Rate mine. Hey, yours is pretty good there, Raven Black Sparrow. Yours is pretty good. Totsi for 5. Kid got run over in Florida protest. Teacher's going to pay or not? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I know there was some Florida like high school students that were doing a ICE thing last weekend. If that's what you mean, that'd be really funny if one of those stupid fucking retards got hit by a car. That'd be hilarious. Death of Marco. Last time I remember being loud at the movies was the gory excavator scene in 30 Days a Night. I gave a triumphant whoop, but I was the only one that did so. I was 15 at the time. Fuck my life. There you go. Well, Jeremy, that is it for us today. We went way too long in this fucking stream. SBZ says, it's red! Beardo. What do you got?
Shirt. Cobra Cast today. I don't know if I'm doing 2 or 1, but I will be doing Cobra Cast. I'm not sure what time yet. I got to catch up on all the world of politics and things like that. So, but yeah, Cobra Cast today at some point. That's about it. So, what about you, Ryan?
I don't know. Got some more videos coming out. Got FNT next week. I don't know. It's fucking more of the same from me. But that's it for us. We'll be back. Well, not will, but at least I will be back tomorrow. We'll see if Jay will be resurrected for tomorrow or not. You'll have to tune in to find out. But we appreciate you guys hanging out.
Hang on. So make sure you go to geeksgamers.com. You can click the banner right there, or you can go directly to the link that the mods will be dropping. If you are interested in coming to the Orlando meetup on 3/21/2026, we need you to RSVP. There's not many spots left, so make sure you go over there. Me, Ryan, G&G crew, Drinker, Gary, Jay, Ripa, the list goes on and on of people that are going to be in town. I know Yellow Flash is going to be here from MegaCon. I'm sure he'll be there. It's going to be great. So looking forward to seeing all of you there. So make sure you go and RSVP. It is free. Now, you may have to pay for parking if you drive, but that's a universal thing. Has nothing to do with us. I would recommend Ubering if you're coming to the meetup, but can't wait. So there's the link in the chat down there. So we appreciate it. And Ryan won. He won the poll 62 to 38.
I forgot I even ran it.
Who has the better SJW voice? So Ryan wins.
I don't know if it's a thing I want to win, but yeah.
All right. After 6 parking is free. Is it? Okay. I never I have my annual pass, so sometimes it does depend, and that's gonna be a busy weekend.
Well, the thing is, we might still be in Mardi Gras, so there might be a concert that night. Mm-hmm. So that might depend if there's paying for parking. Either way, it's pretty easy to just Uber there, in my opinion.
Yep. So, all right, guys, that's it, Ryan. So take us away.
That's it. Phil Mitchell's fist. Thank you, Phil Mitchell. Will Quartering be there? Says Colorado Kiddo. Who knows? He's invited. He can come if he wants. That'd be awesome. And that is it. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.